You're next.
I'm next.
You're next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
1 year and 25,000 miles later, I'm like, oh, I'm back to you. My husband gave me a text because he sees how much I actually drive. Okay, here is, I'm from CASA. We're on the DNA Executive Director. We have had a busy last 6 months of fiscal year 2011 and first 6 months of fiscal year, last 6 months of fiscal year 2010. First 6 months, I'm not getting used to this FY10, FY11, FY12. You'll see in the letter I made a mistake. I'm asking, we're talking about FY12 today, and I have to put FY11 in the letter, but we're looking to remain at your contribution of $2,500 to our program. And the last year for 2009, we served 666 new clients, answering 482 crisis line calls, 69 adults and 67 children, spent 884 nights in shelter. What we've seen in the first 6 months of 2010 is that we have had 434 new clients and had 501 nights of shelter. So our numbers are going to be up for the calendar year of 2010. And out of Sac County, since July 1, we have worked with 20 new adults and 5 new youth. What is exciting for us is the work that we've been able to do with the schools through our prevention programming for sexual abuse prevention. We have what's called the Safe Touches program, and it's recognizing, resisting, and reporting sexual abuse is the focus of that curriculum. And we've been into all of the schools in Sac County to present that, or we will be by the end of the school year. And that has been a really great program. The one thing that I always am able to report from that program is that for about every 10 to 12 presentations that we do in the schools, we have at least one disclosure. And that's not specific to Sac County, but that's in all of our 8 counties that we serve. We have a kid that will come forward to their guidance counselor and say, this has been happening to me. So while that's not specifically about primary prevention, it's about being able to provide services then to that child and getting them the help that they need. Included in your packet, of course, is my business card and some of our other, where our offices are and all of those kind of things. But you'll see our FY11 budget. We're just starting, as you are, working on FY12, and we're waiting to see what the legislature is going to do before we can totally get what our funding is going to be. A little apprehensive because about a third to a half of our budget comes from state funding, and we're going to see how that goes. I'm a little nervous, but I get nervous every year about this time. So
why are we showing a blank for Sac County?
Okay, that's a great question. Last year I was late getting into you guys, and so when I set up the budget last year, you'd already set your budget, and we weren't sure that it was going to happen, but you suggested that I go ahead and send in an invoice, and you did honor that, okay. And so it just isn't reflected here.
Because I thought we did.
You did, you did.
I wanted to be
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely. Because I'm in here earlier this time, hopefully next year it'll reflect that, and we'll be good to go. Other questions?
I was wondering on this 666, what is the main reason that they are in the shelter? I mean, there has to be one outstanding.
Right, and just a little clarification, shelter is really just like one of our services. The majority of our clients, about 90% of our clients, use what we call outreach services. We help them with protective orders, we assist them with support groups and counseling regarding victimization of domestic violence and sexual assault. So shelter is really about 5% of our clients, and that shelter is located in Spencer. We would transport, and as a matter of fact, we just had a family come in out of Sac County last week that we transported to shelter in Spencer. The 666 new clients, those are folks that have used all of our services for the first time in 1 year. Meaning we've not seen them before, or it's been 3 or 4 years that they've utilized our services, and so that's spread out throughout the whole 8 counties that we serve. Did that answer your question? Kind of. Okay. Other questions?
Do you see I guess I would, with the shelter being in Spencer, is that a problem?
It can be, and ideally, if money were no object and we had enough funds to work on this issue, we would have an advocate for adults, an advocate for children, and a shelter in every county that we serve. But I've been with CASA for 12 years. When I first started working, every client that I saw needed shelter. And I've seen that transition happen over 12 years, and people ask me why do you think that is? The laws really have only been in effect since 1986 for domestic violence. And they finally are catching up and doing what they're supposed to do. Protective orders are doing what they're supposed to do. And families can stay in homes and then remove the person who's causing the problem, which is the way it should be, I believe. So people aren't needing that housing option for safety anymore. Everyone who came into shelter 12 years ago needed it for safety. Now it's more of a homeless issue. Like there's no housing for them, or they must leave, or some other issue. So that's the transition that's happened. And it's happened across the state, not just in Northwest Iowa. We're seeing that trend across the state. Other questions?
What group actually, what entity of the state actually passes your funding through?
It's through the line item. Well, back up. It's through the AG's office. It comes out with the Attorney General's budget. Yeah, it's through the Department of Justice. We were very fortunate in the not last year, but the year before, and Governor Culver put us in the general budget, which we were one of the only programs across the state that was able to actually get a line item and not be a part of something else and get cut. We did take a 10% cut, but we're still part of that line item. That I'm, again, very nervous about. And
just in some of the state committees that we're involved with, there's discussion of another 9%.
Yeah. And I don't know how we can cut it.
Well, and
I don't
most of these can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. Right now, the person who serves Sac County is based out of Storm Lake, and she drives over here one day a week as is needed. And I don't know what we're going to do if we're going to take another 9% cut. I've already, since I took over as the director in October of, the years just keep flying by. It would have been 2007. Have cut 3.5 positions in order to deal with all of the budgets cut. So I don't know how we're going to weather it. It's just going to be tough because no one does these crisis victim services.
Does that person that comes to Sac County have a specific office or meeting place?
No, we meet where we can. If she was doing a support group for a while in Lakeview, in the city chambers there, and that was working wonderful. She uses the courthouse just kind of in a corner downstairs a lot. Sometimes we'll utilize a church depending on the person. Sometimes it just depends on what's going on. In the summer it's easier because we can go to the park. But we don't have a space that we're able to utilize.
Is that usually during the day or evenings? Or?
Usually during the day. If it's an evening call, because we have folks that are on call 24 hours a day, if it's an evening, we'll do that at the police station or the SO or communications center or whatever.
I'm not sure. We might have a space over in the annex if you're interested.
Very much so. Very much so.
Let me see what's available and give me a call maybe next week.
I will. We'll do that. If I don't give you a call next week, Jenny is our coordinator, and she'll give you a call.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Okay, great, thank you.
Can you, I see fundraising. Do you contact different organizations for, I should probably do that.
No, that's okay. Different organizations will go out and speak to them, and then they will give us donations. When you're looking at the budget, the total donations that come out of, like contributions, donations, that $35,000, that's where, in our 8 counties, we'll speak to Kiwanis or we'll speak to Lions Club, and they'll give us a donation. And we're always looking for people to present to. So if you are in a group that you want someone to come speak, please give me a call or throw an email at me, and I will arrange to have someone come speak to you. Other questions?
You stay by?
Thank you. And
Thank you.
again, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Good luck
Thank you.
with your budget.
Thank you. I hate this time of year. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you very much.